Welcome back to Skyblock Hardcore Mode. Last time we began... Wandering Trader! Wandering Trader! I've never been so happy to see a Wandering Trader before. Hello, sir. You sell... You have flowers. Hold on, I'll be back. I'll be back. But last time we began building out an island, and to be honest, that's what we're going to be working on today as well. We are going to be continuing the island build, but today we are going to be working on a very specific section, as I'm sure you can see from the thumbnail. Now let me just get these flowers. Please hold. I need that. I want that. I want that. I want that. I'll grab the green dye because we don't have enough cactus. Now, in order for us to get started on getting this island completely detailed out, we do have to start up here. Ow. Ow. Okay, don't run and talk, I guess, apparently. But we're gonna start with this bad boy here. Now, in order to do this area the way I want to, it does have to get moved down to the lowest point of the island. And I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna hide it, because the idea of a mining operation to explain the explosion sounds really neat in theory, but thinking about it, why would you hollow out an already floating island? That just sounds like a recipe for disaster. And speaking of recipes for disaster, we are going to be moving on to our next thing, which absolutely terrifies me. The slime farm. Well, not the slime farm, but hiding it. I want to hide the slime farm, but to do so, I need something I don't have. That being copper. Now, to get copper in Skyblock, we are going to have to use another ENXO4 farm. Much like the tree farm, the link to the copper farm will be down in the comments, but we need to get some zombies and transport them through the nether to the end portal, and I don't know how that's gonna work, to be fair. To be perfectly fair, I don't know how that's gonna work, because the only place we can get zombies from is that bad boy, and honestly that sounds like a bit of a struggle, but let's try. So I started by laying out tracks in the nether. Now, I've never moved mobs through the nether, and I wanted to be as prepared as possible. I also know that there are overworld copper farms, but in Skyblock, I can't be bothered to try and find a river biome that might be big enough. So, after laying out the rails in the nether, I made some in the overworld and attempted to bring a zombie boy through, forgetting that I have thorns. So, I made new armor and swords for the farm, and with newfound confidence on moving mobs through the nether, I began making the copper farm. Okay, the farm is done. It was a bit of a struggle. Well, not the farm itself, just the pickup system underneath, because I'm not good at redstone. But now, this bad boy is all set and ready to go. I gotta light the fire, and then we just gotta stock it with zombies, and we'll be ready to go. So, let's go struggle through that. Now, I feel like we're gonna have to... John, you scared the hell out of me. No, I feel like we have to wait till nightfall, just purely so, you know. This isn't even actually over the rail like I thought it was. Okay. Oh, it's still blocked up. I forgot to unblock it. But let's give it us... Oh, I need more moss. I don't got moss. Oh, no. Okay, hopefully somebody... Ooh. What? I forgot. I didn't close it back up. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, we have an invasion. We have a problem. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh. Of course, the one that picks stuff up is burning. Yes, John, I know I made mistakes. Mistakes happen, okay? This is just gonna get worse. Okay. Oh god. Okay. Okay. nope, 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 nope. No, no, no. Oh, my poor beautiful ship. Oh, it's been mutiny. How are you not on fire? Gosh. Get out of here. Get out of here. You're not welcome. No, please stay. No, sir. Oh, this one hurts. You were the best boy. You. Stop it. Stop it. There's a. How did I just nail that child? I mean, I'm a great and excellent shot. Absolutely. Oh. Oh, inside. Inside's probably a problem. Hey, buds. Hey. You not? Thanks. Sir, can you sit down? Get out of here. Get out of here. I have to check inside now. Okay, I'm going to just say relatively good. Yes? You're holding something too. Oh, you're beautiful. You're beautiful. There you go. Okay. 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 That's not how I expected any of this to go. That was terrifying. I'm still scared. Is there anybody else still just, you know, shush up there, roaming around? I remember to always block up your mob farms in Skyblock, or you're in for a bad time. I'm just saying. Okay, I mean, that kind of was a little bit of a blessing, because now he's holding something, right? But let's get him in a minecart, if we can. Bastard. Whew, but you are under a block. I just gotta wait for the sun to set, and then we can move him through, and hopefully get a couple others, too. Because I don't think you're gonna do well in the farm, but you're holding something, which means he'll stay in the farm so we can come back here. And once night fell, I moved him through to the nether and then into the end. He was the first of many that I would move over the next hour before I discovered something terrible. I feel so deceived. I'm over here struggling, and I mean struggling, to get zombie reinforcements to spawn. So I started to look into this actual pack to see if maybe they drop something else or not. I killed 2 of the boys in there. But why they're not spawning is because although this says hardcore on it, it's set to normal difficulty, which feels like such a lie and such a scam. I'm so upset by this. I'm so upset. So we're going to do this together. We're going to open it to land. We're going to allow cheats. We're going to go here and we're going to go difficulty hard. And then I'm going to actually back out and then come back in. I hate that I had to open this to land. I hate this. All right, loading back in. Let's see if that... Okay, let's try this again. And try again I did. This time I brought 3 through all at once and led them to the farm before attempting to let it rip. And rip it did. This farm began to absolutely cook. After running the farm for a little bit, it's a little backed up, but I didn't realize... Calm down. I didn't realize it was gonna drop clay. I do still have to turn this on, and we have to set the filters, but I think the first thing that needs to happen is this. Now, this lightning rod is temporarily placed here, but at least now I know nothing should burn down. And with that being said, I am going to AFK at the copper farm, get all of the filters set up, light the soul soil, and absolutely start cooking, because we need a metric boatload of copper, and I'm so excited. I'm also super excited about the clay balls, because that means we can get regular terracotta, which means I can dye it into whatever colors I need. So this farm fills two needs, copper and terracotta. I'm so excited. Let's go run the farm. I have been AFKing for ages, longer than I ever thought I would have to, purely because of the clay balls. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, but given the difference in everything that's been dropping, they're the problem child. Like, oh my gosh, am I excited? Yes. Am I a little irritated because of it? Also yes, because I wanted copper from this. Now, this... Oh, I forgot that I made 3 filters. Oh, I forgot I made 3 filters for this. I thought it was still just the 2. Oh, no. But for all of that, this and a little bit of this is all I have for copper. The copper does not drop as frequently, which is fine. However, it is what I needed the most of, which is why I had to AFK the longest. However, I am very excited for the future of bricks, the future of terracotta, the clay itself. But let's pack all of this up and take it with us to the overworld. Time to finally go home. You guys suck. A home, sweet home. It feels good to be back in the overworld. Now I have cleaned up our little mess right here. I have not done so in the nether because I can't be bothered. But let's get in to what we're gonna start. We are making a giant fuel tank down here. And then we are going to also be making a giant fueling station for the ship, which explains why it's here. But we're gonna start down here and slowly bring this bad boy up to meet the actual island, and then plop the fuel station on top. So let's get to it. Alrighty, here we have our big, beautiful fuel tank. I have the start of what will be the fuel pump area here. And then we've got this big area hiding the slime farm, which I will probably never use again. But that is fine. Now, I did plan this in mind with the fact that these are going to oxidize, as I don't have honeycomb. So it is kind of cool that it's orange right now. I do really like it, but it will oxidize into that blue. And I'm kind of excited about it. It's nice and big and chunky. But with that done and out of the way, it is time to start gathering supplies for what will go up here, which I'm sure you know what it is. It was part of the thumbnail, but you know, either way, we got bricks, we got granite, we need terracotta, which means we got to go and get all that clay so we can smelt it on down. Some of those clay balls to also smelt down. So the copper farm has come in clutch in ways I wasn't expecting, and I'm very excited about that. But the first thing I actually want to do is there's a lot of torches everywhere, and I don't like seeing torches. So I think we're gonna pop over to the amethyst geode and just grab the lichen that's on it, because then I can bone meal it and replace all of the torches on the buildings with lichen. And once I'd done that, I jumped straight into supply gathering, going back to the copper farm to get all of the clay balls and the clay that we could then smelt down into bricks and terracotta. The next step I did was head into the nether and begin farming gold, because we are going to need a copious amount of quartz so we can make granite. And granite was the thing I thought was going to take the longest, because you first have to make diorite and then granite using quartz. And quartz is a low trade for piglins, but it didn't take anywhere near as long as getting all the copper, which was a little frustrating. But I did end up needing all the terracotta, which I turned into light gray terracotta. I did then gather the rest of the supplies. Now, I didn't break them down into the pieces we'll need, like stairs, slabs, walls, fences, all that stuff, because I do plan on making changes to the build, although I do, again, have a really good idea of what I'll be building. I haven't flushed it completely out. And then I also grabbed more supplies, and by grabbed more supplies, I mean I went over to those chests over there and was like, ooh, there's stuff left over since I didn't finish the island. So that we can terraform and detail everything out, which we are going to start doing right now. We're going to pop down here. There's one fully oxidized. Oh, it's so beautiful. Anyway, we're going to pop down all the way down here and do the scary thing. No! Well, and we're going to build... Oh gosh, this is scary. I don't like this. I heard a squishy. I don't like that. I don't like that. But we're gonna build a platform out this way so that we can then scaffold up, but we can detail this whole lower section here, because let's be honest, it's very awkwardly shaped. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna slowly work our way up, detailing it. I figured we could do that together and go over why I'm probably gonna make some of the changes that I'm gonna make. You know? Because, let's be honest, this is all very flat, this is all very meh, but I would like to make it a bit more detailed. I'd like it to be more rugged. I want it to look like it's been worn down over time. Maybe we'll do some waterfalls or something. But I'm going to get this platform built out, and then we'll start moving our way up. Alright, I got the little leaf platform in place and string lights for both lighting and scaffolding support. I brought down all of our supplies, and I'm looking at this, trying to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. And this side particularly bothers me. It's very blocky and straight, and then it cuts in randomly right here. I don't mind so much the cut in. I do not like the symmetry. I do not really like the shape of it. Also, there is some shading here, and that was in mind of the ship, because once the ship is fully in place, as we will be fixing that and making it larger. I just haven't fully figured out what we're doing yet. It will cast a shadow. So I would like to bring some of this shading over. I would also like to change and make this a bit more jaggy, so this looks a bit more pointed. We do have to keep in mind that the tank is on the inside, though if we do hop in here... Oh, yeah, that's right. I love that. I didn't bring the tank all the way down, nor did I replace... Nice. Nor did I replace the wall, because otherwise the tank would break through the exterior wall. So we're just going to pretend that it all fits inside nice and neat regardless. So we do have to keep that in mind, and I would like to fix this section. Now I'm not entirely sure exactly how that's going to work, but we can start by breaking parts of it out and replacing it with some of our other blocks. So let's grab scaffolding. Let's also, I'm going to take some stairs, but I'm also going to take a lot of the deep slate and the, where's the smooth basalt? Where? Please hold. All right, and some of the smooth basalt. I'm also going to break down these into, I'm going to do a whole stack of walls, and then I'm going to do half a stack of slabs, and then I'm going to do a whole stack of stairs, which is very expensive, but I do know I will use them again later, and I have more. So let's start probably on this one. Let's scaffold up here and take a look at this from a little different of an angle. We are only focusing on this section right here because to try and do the whole island at this point would be a bit difficult. Because if we look at this from the side here, this side is very flat. Let's punch into here and see exactly where we're at. Okay, so we do have space here to start removing a little bit, right? So I'm thinking we can bring all of this in and give this a nice overhang. So take out this whole section right here and bring it in, and then we'll touch the actual tank. So I won't have to worry about any space where mobs can spawn or having it be lit up. And we can also bring down this edge right here, so it'll be a little bit more jagged. So it looks like it's dripping off or pieces are falling off, and then this comes inwards, right? Okay, so I've hit a little bit of a sticking point. Which is we are now breaking past the copper, which I didn't think we would. So we are going to have to adjust this little section a little differently. So what I want to do is I want to fix this rough jaggediness. It's not working. It's very awkward. It's very meh. So, but this is quite a shadowed space. So what we're going to do is we're going to take all of our different shapes. I don't need the spoon. And we are going to, first I'm going to fill this in with a little bit of stone. That way we're not wasting more precious items. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to go like a stair here. I'm going to throw these in like this. I'm going to maybe bring in some of the smooth basalt. Grab that. Throw in a couple of slabs. But I also want to start throwing in some walls. So we'll bring this down like that. We will probably have to replace some of the blocks behind here as well. Grab the basalt, maybe grab a stair and throw that like that. Although that is a bit uniform with the stair on the other side. So maybe not so much that unless, let me go here. We bring this out so it gives like that awkward shape there. And I can do a little bit more with that. Let's take a look. So we already get a little bit more depth. We're already getting a little bit more texture as well with the different blocks and everything like that. I can also kind of... Where's my slabs? Bring this like that, although... it probably would do better to do a full block and then the slabs for that area. But we can also, if we really want, say not do that. I can grab this and then just slab, not there, not like that. Just slab there, which saves us a full block to kind of bring out these little bits and bobs, and then do like that. So it's not even and it's not uniform. We can also come back through at a later date and add leaves. And by later date, I mean once we have the full shape down. There's no point in leafing something if you don't have the shape down. But that's already starting to feel more organic. That's already starting to feel better. And as we bring this up, we can transfer out of the shaded bit, which will help this curve in. So we're going to bring this up, and I'm going to start again with stone so I can get the shape correct. And then we're going to go back in with all of our little texture blocks. So let's do that. Okay, the shape is coming together. Now there's obviously a bunch of holes and some weird spots that did not work out the way I wanted them to, but with stairs, slabs, walls, and actually texturing this, it'll look so much better than it did. And I'm gonna continue doing this and texturing it up and leafifying it and all of that here in a time lapse. And I will probably also continue on to the buildings upwards as we go, because this video is already getting pretty long, which if you've made it this far into the video, feel free to hit that subscribe button or that like button to let me know that you're enjoying the content and to keep it coming. So I'm gonna get into this. I do really like this area a lot more. I hate this, but I will fix that right now. Let's go. All right, here we have it, our wonderful new fuel buildings. Let's take a little tour and talk about why I went with this design and style. So the idea is that this is the actual fuel pump and these things kind of pull it in and out. I want to use this, if I can land here. Ooh, nice. I want to use this for transporting villagers so that we can roll new trades and things like that already on the island. And this is quite a big space. There's no real way they could track to any sort of workstation. And then we could also put a zombification station in here and push them out the other side, which will require another fuel pump, but that's okay. And once we do that, we could take them up onto the island, wherever that happens to be. That did not just scare me, it scared you. But with that is kind of also where we're gonna have like the docking system. This is the little area down here where I figure like this is where you would control the fuel pump for. You got all the little buttons and stuff. Maybe that's like an LCD screen. When the lights turn on, it's in operation kind of thing. And we have access to actually check the tank or do service on it. But up here, come up in here, we have the actual interior of this building. And it's quite empty. It's very empty. But I do really, really like it so far. We have a little area for potentially an office. I messed up, but that's fine. We have these big bay doors that open and close. The idea is that the note blocks are how you open it. You got a bunch of little buttons you got to do in like succession. So you can open it from either side with this one. You can only open it from the interior on this one. And out here we have an area for like holding more tanks and things like that. I do still have to finish this exterior wall and add some details to this, but I'm really liking how this is going. We also have up here what I'm calling the offices. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, I missed a bunch of trapdoors. That's fine. I'm not entirely sure what to do with this space. I do have an idea for downstairs, but we will get into that. But if you have an idea for up here on how to do some offices, let me know down in the comment section. But I think this came together wonderfully. And I really, really like how it's working out. I also did this little section here back behind the pen. I like the idea that maybe these guys kind of own this building, or they kind of got encroached on. I'm not entirely sure of the whole story yet. I'm still working on it, but I do like it. So we have a nice little area over here. I think I want to put some bushes and maybe a couple trees out here that are a little overgrown, or I guess they'd probably be neatly trimmed so that the ship can get past. But everything on the ship is just shy of clipping this. I know it looks like the sign is kind of overlapped here, but I like the idea that maybe like once they're done, the ship will get pushed out and then they'll take off around the end, because this I'm using as sort of like a wake, but for wind, I think we talked about last time when I built the island. But I do really like this. I'm not entirely sure what's happening. Keep your child. But I'm not entirely sure what's happening over here just yet, especially with the iron farms and everything, because they will need to be moved. Although, to be fair, I am not hurting for iron in any way, shape, or form. These bad boys have been, hooking. So I'm kind of okay with the idea that these will have to get removed, probably in the next episode. If I could even reach. Hasn't quite made it there yet, but it's right there. Yeah. I have more than enough iron to hold me until we actually move this, but that is a future me problem. And what also is a future me problem is hiding this. We were going to hide this in this episode, but this episode is already becoming long enough, as I stated earlier. And there is one final thing I would like to do, and it's this interior. So let's get to it in 3, 2, 1. Interior. I'm very, very happy with how this interior turned out. I really wish I had frog lights for up there, because I think they'd make much better industrial lights. And I really wish the copper had oxidized, because it's very orange in here. But once it oxidizes, it'll look much, much better. I'm very happy with all of this. I like the idea that maybe some fuel tanks or tanks and canisters of some sort of thing is being loaded onto the ship. We got a little area where the forklift would park normally when it's not in service. You guys saw down here already, I'm pretty sure. Oh my gosh, this is actually... You know, this interior's taken me a while when this much of the actual tank has oxidized. I didn't realize it had oxidized this much. Neat. But we have almost a full interior. I did try a different style of fuel tank here. I'm hoping it'll blend in nicely because, as you can see, I put some slime in there. But I have slime in this one, and the big boy back there is all slime. I had to figure out something to do with the slime, and I'm thinking the slime is the fuel of this world. And so we have our slime here. I do have melons behind it, mostly because sodium does a dumb thing when you're standing south and east. You can see through. There is slime behind here, but it does not look like it. Same with this one. You just see the melons, and I kind of wanted to make sure you couldn't see all the way through. Unfortunately, with this little guy, you can. You can, but if I pop over here, you can't. You can see the slime. And same here. It's a little iffy. I'm not sure why sodium does this, but it always has, and it probably always will. It is what it is. These will all hopefully oh, I forgot the top of that tank. That's, you know what, that's fine. It doesn't need a hat. We got our bay doors up, this time with chains and little winch mechanisms in there. We've got a full-blown office. You don't belong here. Where you could come in and maybe schedule a pickup, maybe from someone out there or whatever ship. Their captain would come through here and be like, I need gas. You know, we come up here, we have our workstation. We have empty tanks up here that are oxidizing quite nicely. I'm very happy with it. We got one that's on its side. It's so empty. I thought about putting a stair, but it made it look a little too bulky. We have an extra forklift tool or tooth. We got some extra bits and bobs, a case of forklift pieces, some extra tires, and some extra little lights. All sorts of things you could use. A little repair bench here, like maybe stand on that and raise it up. None of these have anything in them, nor do I think they ever will. At least I hope not. But if we come up here, we come into the employee area. We have some extra... Okie dokie. I thought I lit it all up. I guess I didn't. Oh, no. Okay. That's not what I was expecting. You're not employees. You're not employees. There's a zombie as well, I think. Oh, you're not employees. You don't work here. Where did you spawn at? I could have swore I spawn-proofed everything. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. I did not need that jump scare. Where? The only thing I can think of is maybe up here. This is the only interior I didn't do. But I put down extra torches. I was putting down all the torches. Where? Oh, the tires. The tires. Get out of here. Oh no, I forgot a lamp. I don't even have anything. Well, welcome to the employee break room. It's filled with monsters and hostile customers. Okay, you can have that for now. Oh, I need to fix the wall. Well, welcome to the fuel station. It's hostile here. There's plenty of places to sit. There's even a little balcony to hang out on for some fresh air. I'm terrified of the rest of this. We got a microwave with somebody's burrito in it. The timer's still going. We got like a deep fryer, a fridge, some drinks, a bathroom. Hello, anybody in here? Oh, I forgot the doors. It's fine. We got some lovely little stuff. Ooh. We've got vending machines. I'm afraid to be in here. We have a lovely little locker room area where you can put all your stuff. We got the weekly schedule. You don't go here. I can put you out there though. Was it just the two? Hello? Hello? I think it was just the two. That was terrifying. That was right at the top of the stairs. Oh, gosh. I was just gonna say there's a bunch of extra tires up here, because if you've ever worked in a shop before, there's spare things you never need, like tires and forklift pieces and all that stuff, but apparently we had some angry customers up here. I didn't need that jump scare. I'm too. Okay, well. Yeah, okay. If we pop back up here, as we saw, I didn't fill this room out. I was gonna do like offices up here, but I couldn't figure out a good layout for it. I feel like I need to watch the door in case somebody comes up the stairs. I'm so paranoid because this is Skyblock, which means that there's one spawnable space. There's like 80 homies you don't need or want in your house. Oh my gosh. I need to lie down now. But I was thinking this could be offices, but it didn't quite work out. I'm thinking maybe this is like a map room now. Like we'll put maps on the wall. So like it's tracking where all their shipments are, or maybe where other stations are and stuff like that. Like maybe this is just the central hub to a bunch of places. I'm not entirely sure. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. But thank you for watching. This episode has taken me long enough, and honestly, I need to inspect. I need to double, triple, and quadruple check this place because I will not feel safe. I will not. No. But thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I don't know. I'm so paranoid now. I'm so paranoid. But thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hello. I did all these lights down here and did not light up everything up there. I'm disappointed in myself.